Tonight on KGW News, a tree comes down and crushes a car. The tragic outcome of this week's unseasonable storm.
Plus, a mysterious disease at a Portland apartment building. Now, the seniors who live there are making the tough choice to leave their homes.
It's devastating because we're moving into areas we don't know anyone.
Then, communities on the Oregon coast look to ease the tension between tourists and locals. What that might mean for your next vacation.
And police make a precious discovery amid stacks of stolen property. Your news starts now.
Thank you for joining us here at 11. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko, and we start tonight by tempting fate with a big question. Just what is in store for the rest of this bizarre weather week? So have the dark clouds finally moved on? Those strange snow and hail showers maybe slowed? And when will it start to finally feel a little bit more like spring?
David, all questions that we want answers to. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino. Matt, dare we ask what's next? I have a feeling there's more.
Well, what was next was a funnel cloud tonight, not a tornado because it did not touch down. But several of you sent in pictures, and we appreciate that. This one from Dick Allen over on Happy Valley, looking back to the west. You can clearly see this descending down. There was some weak signatures of rotation on Doppler radar with this. But again, that's a great picture of this funnel cloud. About 7:45 tonight. Other viewers caught pictures of it as well. This is looking to the east from over by Ross Island. Corleen Craft getting this picture, and you can see the structure of it very similar to what Dick captured from over in Happy Valley. So these are weak funnel clouds, and we call these cold air funnel clouds because they happen when we get very, very cold air aloft. You need other ingredients as well. You need to have some shear in the wind field, so changing direction of the wind with height. They rarely touch down. They do occasionally touch down. They very rarely do damage. That's happened a few times that I know of. But usually they show up, they spin around for less than a minute, which was the case with this one. People see it, and it's like, wow, look at that. I think I just saw a funnel cloud. And the rotation is usually very, very brief with these. And they happen when we have very cold air aloft. We clearly have that with our low snow levels, usually in the spring and in the fall. So very fun to see it, and luckily, unlike the rest of our weather this week, it didn't do any damage or hurt anybody or cause any travel issues. Here's the cell that did it. It was just sort of focused over southeast Portland here for much of the evening hours, and then finally moved on off and dissipated, moving on up into the Cascades where it is still snowing. And yes, the silver lining was the rainbows that formed on the backside of that shower line as it moved through Portland. So what's next, you ask? Well, it's going to stay cold through Saturday. We know that. Trace to maybe an inch of snow tonight, but only above 500 feet, so most of us won't contend with that. Below 500 feet, rain showers, could see a few wet snowflakes. But again, tomorrow, like today, we'll probably get some hail showers once again, so we're not quite done with this wild weather yet, guys.
With the week we've had, of course, we've had a funnel cloud today.
Right.
Thank you, Matt. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, it appears the stormy weather may have contributed to a man's death in Woodland. He was driving on State Route 503 this morning when a tree fell right on top of his truck, crushing the cab. Just horrible images there. Authorities have identified the driver who died as 53-year-old Edward Norton from Woodland.
Well, police tonight are looking for the person who pulled up next to an elderly driver and then started shooting. It happened around 11 last night in Gresham on Northwest Burnside near Civic Drive. The victim was hit, went to the hospital. He's expected to be okay. He told police he has no idea who shot him. So far, no arrests.
A suspect is in custody after firing a shot during an arrest on Southeast Foster Road. Portland police said it started with reports of a stolen car at about 1:15 this afternoon. When officers got there, they tried to talk to the man inside, but they say he fought them, then fired a gunshot. No one was hit, fortunately. The man was later arrested and is now in custody. Police also seized a semi-automatic handgun as evidence.
Deputies in Damascus have rescued 3 newborn kittens while chasing down a pair of thieves. On Monday, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Department responded to Southeast Widgeon Lane after someone spotted something suspicious. People wearing headlamps going through cars. Now, 2 arrests led to a bunch of stolen goods. You see them there. And then after a search, these guys, a trio of newborn kittens, deputies safely delivered them to the Oregon Humane Society for care. Glad they're okay. Well, the debate over short-term vacation rentals hit Clatsop County tonight. You might remember last year, leaders on the coast decided to press pause on permits. Let's bring in Alma McCarty. And Alma, that moratorium is actually set to expire before the calendar flips to next month. So what happens now?
Well, that's what county commissioners are trying to decide, and they heard from the public tonight. They may impose stricter rules on vacation rental homes to limit how many can operate in unincorporated parts of the county. Keep in mind, cities like Astoria, Seaside, those communities have their own set of guidelines.
It goes without saying, coastal areas attract vacationers, hoping to get away for a while. But new proposals in Clatsop County aim to control where and how vacation rentals can operate. At a commission meeting Wednesday night, residents chimed in. Some argue having too many vacation properties takes away housing options for full-time residents.
The argument over quality of life issues should not eclipse the reality that short-term rentals have distorted the market to the point that homes in Clatsop County are selling for prices that don't pencil out for most vacation home buyers, let alone long-term residents. STRs deplete the existing housing supply. They squeeze out families like mine.
Others believe there could be a negative economic impact to the county without short-term rentals, asserting there's no proof the housing situation will improve overall by getting rid of them.
We would support a cap on short-term rentals. But what we don't want to do is craft a solution that doesn't take all stakeholders into account and without research. It needs to be an objective decision.
Some commissioners also calling for more objective data before making a decision on what they call a complex issue.
I don't see the dollar values of the homes that we're talking about in short-term rental pool being workforce or affordable housing. So how do we, we've got to find that equation. What is the real data that tells us how is it really affecting this and how can we move forward for a solution?
There was no formal vote to adopt any proposal tonight. Leaders could decide next week to extend the moratorium on short-term rental applications to give them more time to draft a permanent ordinance. Laurel?
Thank you, Alma. If you have been near the Moda Center for a Blazers game or, say, a concert, you know parking and traffic can be a problem. But now the Portland Bureau of Transportation has a plan to reduce that congestion by creating something called an event parking district. Portions of the metered parking in the Lloyd Center neighborhood would cost drivers $3 an hour in hopes more people use public transit to get to events or carpool. That's an increase from the current parking of $1 an hour. According to PBOT, about 90 events happen at the Moda Center each year. Thousands of people who come to the Lloyd District for these events often end up parking on nearby neighborhood streets, creating congestion, traffic, and pollution from idling cars. People who live in the area say something needs to be done.
Well, it creates a situation you can't park in your own area or your own neighborhood. The Lloyd Center has a huge parking area, and it seems a shame that most of it goes unused.
City Council heard the ordinance today. A vote is expected to happen on April 20th. If the City Council votes in favor of the ordinance, it will be put into place this September.
Well, some changes are coming to downtown Portland in terms of who pays for some of the police that patrol it. Catherine Cook is in the newsroom tonight. Catherine, good to see you. What's this all about?
Well, David, today Portland City Council decided to change a contract that in the past allowed a nonprofit to pay for extra police presence downtown. Downtown Clean and Safe provides cleaning and security services downtown, and for 25 years has worked alongside bike officers from the Portland Police Bureau. Businesses pay money to help fund that work, but some argue it's not fair that that area of the city gets more police resources because of that private funding. And a recent city audit also found there wasn't much oversight of the program.
Based on the community forum that took place last week, we heard loud and clear from a large portion of Portlanders that they do think that police services should be seen as a citywide service, not catered to specific district of the city. And we also recognize that for those shifts to happen, they must be done so in an appropriate way.
In the end, commissioners voted 3-2 to end the contract. Commissioner Mingus Mapps, who wanted to keep the contract, said some parts of the city just need more access to police resources. He pointed to Old Town, a recent hotspot for crime, an area that is within the downtown Clean and Safe district. The contract will continue for 2 years while the Portland Police Bureau comes up with a new plan to cover that area. After that, they plan to keep 4 bike patrol officers in the district. The big difference being here, those bike patrols will be funded by the city, not business donations. Laurel.
Thank you, Catherine. A woman is still on the run, wanted in a robbery in Troutdale. It happened at the Columbia Gorge outlets yesterday afternoon. Police say 3 suspects tried to drive away from the scene, but eventually crashed. One of them is accused of shooting at deputies during the chase. They've arrested a man and woman, but the 3rd suspect is still out there. Anyone with information about her is asked to contact the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office.